Testing, testing. Okay, I think my audio's going a bit better there now. Yeah, hello everyone. Welcome to tonight's stream here. Yes, this sure in fact is a PS3 there, Monkey and Dragon. Also, hello, ShrekFan56 there. Yeah, hope everyone's having a good evening tonight here. I know it's been a hot minute since I've streamed before, but I've been kind of just wanting to stream something again lately, and um rather than stream Mario Mon, which I'm unfortunately notoriously bad at streaming there. Also, this desktop audio is way too loud here. I came across something a little interesting earlier, and I'm like, you know what? This would make for a pretty nice chill stream, I think. So we're gonna go ahead and get things kind of rolling here. Um, so bit of the, I guess you call it news the last little while. I mean, Sony's been having God, I don't want to get into the Sony topic now because there's so much to say, but um what I can say is that the PlayStation 3 store sorry. Always like am surprised seeing this Akechi background. Also, yes, I have Sergeant Frog in my PS3 right now because I was watching that at some point. Um Also, good evening, Ardo. I came across something on the PlayStation 3 store. They announced that the PS3 store is going to be shutting down sometime in the next little bit. That's unfortunate, but the system's been around for 20 years, so I can't say I'm that surprised. We know all this. And I said whenever I was in there, I'm like, you know what? A couple of games I know I want to get are the Mega Man Legends games, because as of right now, this is the only way to legally buy and play the Mega Man Legends games. Ignore the cropping, I just kind of have this a certain way because it's going to be a 4x3 system for this here. This is the only legal way to play the Mega Man Legends games currently, and I'm not against, like, emulation and whatnot, like, you know, it's a thing. If these games aren't going to be accessible, then I have no problem with that. But I wanted to buy these at some point anyway, just because, I wouldn't mind playing these at some point. There's going to be a lot of PS1 and just PS3 stuff in general kind of gone in the next little while. But I came across something when searching Mega Man earlier, and that was a PS1 version of Mega Man 3. And I had to ask myself, I'm like, PS1 Mega Man 3, like, really? And 4 for that matter. I think Mega Man 2 also had something like this as well. I did not know these ports existed. I love Mega Man 3. I love Mega Man 4. I'm not as big on 2, but I mean, that is still something. But I had to do a double take when I saw these, because I'm like, there's really, like, PS1 versions of these old 8-bit NES games. I knew there was a PS1 version of Mega Man X3, but I did not know this was a thing. And you know what? This is the kind of game that I could very much see, like, this making for a decent little stream game. This is entirely in Japanese, which I guess that explains why I never knew this was a thing, but thankfully I have translation apps on my thing, which is... This is not the Mega Man 3 music here. I'm just gonna read through the options here, because thankfully there is a translation. Or can get a translation thing on my phone here. Okay, so we have original mode at the top, navigation mode, which I'm not sure what that entails. Option, database, and pocket station. Let me read through... This is a rough, like, Google Translate here, but... This is a rough translation. The legendary Mega Man 3 is back in full force. Due to the faithful porting process, the screen may flicker. And let's try what navigation mode says here. Helpful mode with hint system. Use hints to reach the ending. I really don't think I need this, but I'm kind of intrigued. So we're gonna try navigation mode here. This is a version of Mega Man 3 I've never played before. Or Rockman 3, rather. Real quickly, I say this every time I play this. I wait on this screen long enough here, because, God, this is one of the greatest opening themes in any video game I've ever played. Sorry, I love that build up there, man. This is one of my favorite opening themes in any video game here. It's a shame you barely get to hear it in this game, but, like, one of the best songs in Mega Man here. Ooh, that was not as instantaneous as I'm used to. I think I can move this, actually, a little bit over. Yeah, that's probably a little better there. I usually like to start with Magnet Man. God, it is weird having the circle button be the... Like, I get it, it's a Japanese game, so... Is this just... That sound sounds... Okay, I have a rapid fire button here. I actually kind of sort of used to speedrun this game years ago, but, like... Proto won't know what hit him because if they gave me access to a rapid fire thing here. Love the Mega song based on Mega Man 3 so much. I've always been aware of the Megas, but I don't think I've ever really listened to them that much. I'll definitely have to look at that sometime. I'll just let these guys fall here. If this is just basically 8-bit Mega Man 3, I feel like we're just gonna play this game tonight. I mean, I feel like it shouldn't be too much of an issue. Do I have any way of... Okay, this is, completely different than... Okay, hold on. What is all this text saying here? Let's see what we got. Return to game, row of buttons, screen adjustment, return to title screen, or quit game. Oh, it's... The top text Proto Man says is this machine has... Or rough translation anyway, I don't know how accurate it is, but this machine has powerful magnetism, be careful. So it's like, there's actual flavor text for some of these here. This is a neat port so far. I don't know if there's any way to view what this, like, exclamation mark icon is. So just have beat here. Yeah, it definitely doesn't make any sense given the plot of this game. I don't think I should have died there, but whatever. I'm turning on my spare... Oh. I hope that didn't just interfere too much there. I was trying to turn on my, Okay, sorry about that. I was trying to turn on my TV there just to see if there was, like... Okay, yeah, this feels a lot smoother to play off of than my monitor here. just might look like I'm nutty doing this here, but... Oh. Oh, okay, I thought it was too late there. Also, yeah, it is funny given the plot of this game there. I could be wrong. I want to say the Anniversary Collection had something similar to this, like, Mega Man 8, like, UI on the left here. I don't know if... I don't know if I can see any, if there's any, like, anything that the exclamation mark really gives there. It's really weird seeing, like, the 8-bit sprites with, like, kind of the newer look that a lot of this game kind of has. But, I mean, so far it's playing just like the Mega Man 3 I know. Oh, I kind of use iframes to cheese that a bit. Okay, there. I'm also noticing everything's kind of on the sub-screen of one screen here. You got Magnet Missile. I didn't comment on it, actually, but, like, I usually start with Magnet Man's stage, because, like, that's genuinely, like, probably my favorite song in the entire game is Magnet Man's theme. Go to Hardman next, I guess. That's who I usually kind of go with. Oh, okay, how is this gonna work here at the beginning? Because usually these bees lag the game out a lot. Okay, well, this is a version... Okay, this is a version without the lag. I guess that is understandable, given that it's on PS1 and not NES. Usually this, like... that beginning section lags a lot, but... I'm not used to seeing that as much anymore, though, because I'm also used to... playing the, Okay, this does have Arnell switching there. That's convenient to know. I don't know if I can switch to the Rush Coil, though, which is something. I felt like I was about to say something, and now I don't remember what it was, but... For the most part, it is playing like Mega Man 3, Bye-bye, monkey. But yeah, as I mentioned earlier, there is a version of Mega Man 4 that's like this as well, which I'd be curious to also try out. I don't know if I'll get to that this stream or not. I mean, I don't know how long this will necessarily take. If it's... I've beaten Mega Man 3 in less than an hour before, so maybe, but I don't know if I also want to play 2 Mega Man games in one night either, though. I do love both these games a lot, though. Get me down here before I'm assaulted by the bees. I'm gonna hope that, like, a lot of the... Okay, yeah, I guess the... It does just straight up feel like the NES game, though, in a lot of ways. Like, it's not like anything is, like, different, necessarily, in terms of, like, my movement or anything, so... Yeah, this was definitely a really strange find, though, because I was not even aware that Mega Man 3 was on PS1, or 2 or 4 for that matter, either. Ooh, this sound crunch is definitely something here. I apologize if this is weird for you guys to hear. If the sound is off, let me know, but... It almost sounds like a little screechy, almost, and I don't know if that's just for me playing with headphones on or not, but... Got the hard knuckle. Because, yeah, like I said, I've bought a few things off the PlayStation Store, because I wanted to, you know, get the Legends games at some point. Maybe those might be interesting to look at some point. You know, I was kind of like, I was kind of wanting to stream today, but I'm like, you know, I have ideas for a certain game in mind to stream, but I'm also like, I know it's going to be something that nobody's ever freaking heard of in their life, and I don't know if that'll make for an interesting stream or not. I don't think I need that. But, yeah, I got, like, I wanted to get the Mega Man Legends games, because I knew they were gonna be, like, gone after this point. Oh, right, I forgot. I find it weird you can't switch to the Rush, like, Coil and Jet. That's something I don't quite get. Definitely doesn't feel quite as responsive as, like, the Legacy collections nowadays, which... You know, I'd sooner probably play these games on the Legacy collection nowadays, but... I think I remember what I was gonna say earlier, like... Correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like some of these versions were also included in the Anniversary collection on the PS2 and, like, GameCube and Xbox as well. Like, I just remember seeing, I remember seeing, like, Johnny's review of, I think it was his, like, PS2 review, and I remember him playing a version of Mega Man 2 that had this, like, the Mega Man 8 look beside it, and that's what I kind of assumed it was from. Maybe he was playing that game the game ate my input big time there. I had nothing I could do about that one. I just want to try the Legend. Yeah, I've heard really good things about the Legends games, and yeah, I know a lot of people really like Tron as well. It would be nice if they would make at least a collection of the other Legends games here. I mean, I don't know if we would get Legends 3 like I know a lot of people want, but at least get a collection of 1, 2, and Misadventures of Tron Bonne, because I don't see any reason why not at that point, but... Oh, thank God I got the one up there. I'm gonna take my sweet-ass time for this one here, because... Get to hear some of the sweet Top Man music here. Okay, I wasn't expecting him to just be able to stand there and half his life bar looks red to me still, but... Oh, man. This game's a lot of fun, especially once you get the hang of it there. You got the top spin. Okay, who do I want to go off to now? I may as well do Shadow Man next. I mean... Yeah, let's do it. Probably the hardest boss in the game, but, I mean, I'm curious if... That's my question. I'm curious if this version fixes that or not. Again, I just discovered this version today, so I have no idea what idiosyncrasies are even in this version, especially with the... like, this... enhanced version, in quotes. Oh man, it's not too bad to deal with there. I'm probably cheapening it out by playing with, like, the rapid fire on, but I've played Mega Man 3 so many times, it's kind of cathartic to actually play it with rapid fire. It's not like rapid fire didn't exist in the 90s when this game came out either. Pretty much most of these enemies, like these walking eye things, take about 3 hits to defeat, so... There's a certain, like, charm I find with this game's soundtrack. Like, it may not seem like it's as, like, crazy hardcore as Mega Man 2's is, but I also feel like there's a certain nostalgic element to this game's soundtrack in a way as well, which is really weird given that, like, I wouldn't have played this until, like, the Wii Virtual Console era. I didn't really get... my first Mega Man game was the, Battle Network 3 White on GBA, because that was, I think, the first Battle Network game that had 2 versions. And that was just a random Christmas gift one year. I don't remember if that was something I asked for or not, but... moment of truth. Well, I see I have 28 uses of Topspin here, so... Well, I see that, like... a lot of them drained fast, so I'm gonna say that this probably doesn't fix the topspin glitch at all. But... thank God! Sears Odafest wasn't as good as last year? Yeah, I've heard... I wish it was. Like, I hope to go back to Odafest sometime again. That was a really fun convention. To answer your question, though, Ardo, from the looks of things, no, they did not fix topspin glitch. Oh, man. I'm glad we got through that there. Yeah, I usually go to Snake Man next here. This game's really weird in the sense that, like, Snake Needle and Gemini essentially have, like, a triangle of one is good against another versus another. Like, it's a weird weapon triangle that doesn't really exist in that many other Mega Man games. In some ways, I feel like it makes the order kind of weird. Snake Man I don't find too bad by himself, and honestly with the Shadow Star, the Shadow Blade, he's not too bad. I was just playing, Kirby Air Riders just before starting the stream here, because there was the monthly event. I think those events are monthly there, and I wanted to play that, because not that there's, like, a costume or anything, but there is, like, a vehicle decal in that I kind of wanted. At the very least, like, even if this version feels kind of funky, at least the music is still as awesome as the original was. Like, it probably would have been a lot to remix the soundtrack, but I think it would have been interesting hearing if this got, like, PS1 style remixes, kind of like what the Wily Wars was on the Genesis. I should probably try playing Wily Wars again at some point. Like, I know I did a Let's Play of that years ago. Granted, I also did a Let's Play of the 8-bit version of this game as well, so... I've definitely played this game more than enough, and that's... kind of partially why I wanted to stream it today, though, because also, I have streamed Mega Man 4 before, so I figured this might have been more... I did not run that far. The game just jutted further than I wanted it to. At least the checkpoint's right here. I don't have lives for this here, though. Yeah, I'm definitely noticing some input lag here, and I don't know if it's, again, just the, like, I'm kind of blaming it just on being, like, the PS3. I feel like there's, like, some stuff going on. Oh god, this part's gonna be obnoxious. I'll read your comment there in a second, Ardo. This part's kind of on the ass side. I don't think I should have been hit by that bullet bill there, but go on. These clouds are really, really glitchy, especially in the NES game. It's helpful if you have Rush Jet here, but I usually don't, because I think that's for beating Needleman and... Okay, made it through that. Now I just have to beat Shadow Man, who's not that bad. Actually, he's probably going to be easier with the Rapid Fire than the Shadow Blade. I'm going to try and focus here. It's kind of just this, like, back and forth pattern that he does. He's not too bad to deal with, usually. Got him. Okay. Wily Wars is pretty nice. Yeah, I really do like that Wily Tower mode. The only thing... There's two things I don't like about Wily Wars, though. One about Mega Man 1 and one about Mega Man 2. In Mega Man 1... I don't know if you've played Wily Wars there, Ardo. It is... I guess it is on the Switch Online service now, actually. In Mega Man 1, you know, like, the magnet platform you get that's required for getting through that? They make that super freaking weird and not fun to use. So the sections in Iceman stage and especially Wily 1 where you need that upgrade just don't feel good to get through it all. It's easily, I think, one of the worst changes of that version. Which is otherwise, like, it's a better version of Mega Man 1 otherwise. Like, Yellow Devil's nowhere near as hard. I'm kind of tempted just to take an L at the beginning of this level here, because, like, then I can get my lives back, honestly. I do want to try the, like, glitch in this level here, because... I know there's bottomless pits in here, though, but... Yeah. I'm gonna take an L here just because I can refill my lives this way. But... Yeah, that's kind of the weird thing about Mega Man... Mega Man 1 there. And then, I've heard... I know this is a personal preference here, but Mega Man 2 is the... more so based on the Japanese version, which means it's by default on hard mode. And I don't like the default hard mode of Mega Man 2. I'm gonna say a weird take, maybe. I wonder how Mega Man 2 would have fared if, like, in America they added, like, the normal mode and made the game a lot easier, and I wonder how much more that helped its popularity, because, like, I find I find hard mode Mega Man 2 to be very, very difficult, and almost to the point where I don't really have fun playing it. I think I played it, like, once on... Oh god, how am I gonna do this? Ah, dang it. You're supposed to be able to, like, slide through and then jump, and you can bypass this, like, thing Proto Man blows up here. Oh, I do want that. Ah, shoot, I think I might have... I think I might be screwed out of getting this here. Maybe. Okay, no, never mind. I mean, I can easily just farm off of these guys here to get lives as well, because if you take the time to defeat all these guys here, these Dragon Quest slime guys, yeah, you can easily get 1-ups pretty easily from this area here. I don't know if I'll do that too much there, but... Okay... I always like to try and pull off the Proto Man skip glitch in this level here, because if you do that, there's some really funky stuff that happens in this level otherwise, like, there's supposed to be these penguins at one point that show up. And they just look really, really funny if you, like, do the trick that... Like, the graphics completely screw up on these penguins, and the music also cuts out, which is a bit odd. It's odd that these penguins are the only thing that gets glitched out if you skip the Proto Man thing. But, yeah. Favorite console of all time? God, that's hard. Well, it's difficult for me to when I think it's like, oh, do I have Rush Marine yet? Yes, from the looks of things, this looks like Rush Marine. I don't always take the Marine here, but it is a useful thing to have. Oh, shoot, get off the... that... shoot. I need to get off of that there now. I'll answer your question in a second there. I need to kind of concentrate here. In terms of sheer just everything you can play on one, like... It's... like... I feel like it's almost cheating to say the Switch or the Switch 2, because, like... when you look at everything that you can play on, like, a Switch 2, for example, it's a Switch 1 player, and you can also essentially play everything from, like, the NES to the GameCube on the Switch 2 as well. Knew that was gonna happen there, but... either the PS2 or the 3DS for you, Ardo. That's definitely fair. I always said the N64 was mine for a long time, too. I need snakes here for this. At least now I have lives to kind of kill in some of the later levels here. Gemini's not too bad otherwise there. I always said the N64 was one of my favorites for a long time, and I still love a lot of N64 games, but it's not really something I go back to super often, as weird as that is. Like, nowadays, when I'm playing N64 games, I'm honestly usually playing them on, like, the Switch or the Switch 2 for just being able to play online and stuff. Let's do Needleman now. Very, very funky music here. Okay. I also really love the GameCube a lot, too. I know that's, like... I don't know, it's weird for me to say, like, I almost feel bad for the GameCube in a way, but, like, you know, it was a really great system in a lot of ways. It just didn't have the popularity of, like, the other systems, but, like, you know, it's almost weird that that's, like, half the discussion you hear about from a lot of, like, places nowadays, but... like, it almost just feels... I feel like almost every major, like, at least many of the third-party games I hear people talk about from the other systems... I kind of want this energy tank, but I'll get from this side here. Is the music, like, desynced here? Save PS3 because the Marcel save files, yeah. Yeah, good old homebrewing of the 3DS. Is the music here, like... sorry, is the music here, like, off-sync to you guys here? Like... that felt really, really desynced there. Let me try something here. Hold on a second here. I want to try and... give it a second here. I'm just kind of refreshing the capture card here. I think that's better. Yeah, okay, that sounds better there. I don't know if that was the capture card going out of sync or what there. I'm hoping that's not, like, a common occurrence here. I've been, like, this is my first time streaming in a while. I actually have gotten a new adapter for what I think is supposed to help the, like, streaming issues that I was having there. God, the Gemini laser doesn't sound good in this version here. I don't know if it's, again, just from playing with headphones on or not, but, so, I guess I can ramble about that, because there's probably not much to say in Sparkman's stage here. There we go, the Rush Jet, thank God. I'll have to test if the Rush Jet glitch is still in this game, because that's one of the best things of this game, period. So anybody who's known me for a while knows I've had really bad capture card problems for a while. And I won't lie, I've done so many stupid, like, purchases to try and, like, figure out what was going on with that. And to make a long story short, I've kind of ultimately determined that one of the things that I kind of realized, my PC motherboard has... my PC was built in 2020. I built it when, the world was shut down and no one was really going much of anywhere and all that fun stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna say the Rush Jet glitch still exists in this game too, so, in this version. So, the thing with the Rush Jet in this game is that it only ever consumes ammo if you're staying on Rush. So, if you jump off Rush a lot, it basically conserves a lot more ammo that it just makes it so much more useful of an ability. Especially for some of the, like, stages in the second half of the game. But, yeah, basically, I built my computer around, like, 2020 or so, and, like, the parts in it were basically kind of, like, mid-range even for that time. They were, like, a lot of, like, 2017, 2018 era parts, I think. And my motherboard, I think, specifically is from, like, 2018. But for some reason, and I'm not really sure why, I'm currently using the Elgato 4K-S. And basically the thing with my motherboard I discovered is that it claimed to have a USB, it has one USB-C port on it, basically. And everything I saw online and from the motherboard itself basically claimed that it was a USB 3.0 USB-C. And I never really used this for much, honestly, because I didn't really have anything that used a USB-C for the longest time on that. Like, for computer equipment, I mean, rather. Here we get Spark Shock, which is a weapon I pretty much only use near the end of the game. I think I'm gonna go right back into Sparkman stage, because I think this is the hardest of these Doc robots. And yeah. So basically I found out that my capture card was basically being very, I don't want to say laggy, but it was basically like, hey, you should try plugging this into a, like a USB 3.0 or higher, and I'm like, this is a USB 3.0, but it was, but it wasn't. I don't know how else to really... I didn't want a slide game. That was dumb. I should just be using the Rush Jet at that point, but that was really dumb. Can you come down here, dude? So, I've bought, like, a bunch of random cables and stuff off Amazon, and wasn't really having any success, basically. And ultimately, I think my solution was, that I ended up doing, was to just buy a PCI card that had some USB 3.0, like, USB-Cs on it. And I haven't really tested that much. This is actually the first stream that I've really done with that, because, I mean, my ongoing Let's Play right now is that of a DS game that I don't really need this for, so... Oh, shoot. I think I want magnets for this first fight, I think. Because, yep, we got... Metal Man here. So this is the gimmick here, is that it's fighting this one robot, I think the robot's name is Gamma, but I've also heard, like, these stages referred to as, like, the Doc robot stages. And you have to fight this one robot a bunch of times, but it's replicating the Mega Man 2 bosses. Some of these fights are easily among the hardest, like, fights in the game, though. Yeah, Gamma really is the final boss. Like, all the levels, if you get past these 4 Gamma stages... Oh, Gamma is the final... Oh, sorry, okay. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Gamma is the final boss there. That makes more sense in that context there, Ardo. I see what you're saying. It's not the Gamma robot that I usually associate with. If I have to use energy tanks, I'm going to. This is among... I'm gonna say this may as well be the final boss. This is easily, I think, the hardest one in the game. Or among them, anyway. And actually... No, this isn't... Oh, shoot. Yeah, I was stupid to use the Gemini laser for that. Please tell me there's... Okay, thank God there's a checkpoint here. This is, bar none, I think, the hardest boss in the game. Heal. Okay. I probably could have gotten through that without healing, but honestly... This is a game I'm not against using energy tanks in because they give you so many by the end of the game. Needleman, I think, is the second hardest. If I can get through this level here, then the rest of this is not too bad, I think. And this level's only really bad because of a section in the level, I find. I think we may be desyncing again here. It's honestly hard to tell if it's just... If it's my capture card or the game, honestly. Like, I really can't tell with the way this lags somewhat, but... Here's a free energy tank. I could really use some health here. I might try and beat this porcupine a couple of times. Any game cosplay related conventions? Yeah, there is, the Atlantic, what they call the Atlantic Entertainment Expo. It's very small compared to, like, something like Otafest, but in fairness, I think Atlantic Entertainment Expo only came out in the last, like, few years. I think the first year they had it was 2019, I think. And then they didn't have it again for another few years. I think I've gone every single year that they've had it, though, which is usually a fun time. Shoot, who's the first boss this week to? I think it's the Spark Shooter that this boss is weak to, I think. Yeah, we have Airman here. This is actually strangely a difficult fight, isn't funny enough. Like, there's 4 levels here, and each one has 2 bosses for Mega Man 2 here. I don't know what his health looks like. I should have healed. I really should have healed. Yes, it is in Charlottetown. I really miss, like... I really miss a lot of the YouTuber vlog, like, conventions that I used to go to a lot, like, like PAX East, MagFest, and, Con Bravo. They were all very different for different reasons, but just the vibes and getting to hang out with people and whatnot. You know... Oh, thank God. I needed that. Airman, once again. I really should just focus on dodging, but honestly, I find this guy's attacks just so weird to try and dodge here. Which is weird considering this game has like a slide that you'd think it would make this easier to dodge with, but... Okay, thank God we got rid of the air gun there. This is the hardest part of the level here, but thankfully it's a lot easier to break. I have the energy tanks to spare. Doing this conserves your ammo so much here. These stupid fireflies came down, or not fireflies, dragonflies, they came down a lot faster than I was kind of expecting there, but... There's a spot where you can usually stand to kind of fly above everything. I think it might be... Yeah, this might be kind of more what I wanted to do here. I'm gonna take that, though. And get hit... Wait, what? Oh, I forgot you could do that. Yeah, you can, like, kind of jump below into the... like, clip up above the bottom of the screen to get some of these items. I forgot that was a thing you could do in this area here. That area is a lot more difficult if you don't do that glitch, and, like, the level's not over. There's actually a couple of mid-bosses, like, after that. My YouTube profile picture is from an old joke. How do I just explain this? Around, like, 2010-ish. Like, around the time I was starting to take YouTube, like, a lot more seriously. One game I was watching a lot of Let's Plays of at the time was, Pikmin 2. And I used to have this moniker on forums and go by the moniker of the Bread Bug, which is a monster from Pikmin 2, so that's where, the icon I did was basically a remake of an old icon I used back in, like, 2010 era forums, I think, or 2011, one of the 2 years. Here we have Crashman. He's not too bad, I don't think. Okay, thank God. I'm gonna try and... I'm hopeful that this is just this game and not, like... the capture card, but I have an honest feeling it's probably the game itself that's, the weird thing with somewhat going out of sync there. It's difficult for you guys to probably understand unless you know this game, but it definitely sounds kind of off to me here. Gemini Man stage, for some reason I remember being easier than the original version of it. I mean, debatably. It doesn't have the very, very long water section that the original had. You guys dropping blue flames now, which is a nice little subtle touch. Is that worth it? No, absolutely not. Trying to see if I can get lucky and get some extra lives here. I can usually get a few from this area. Yeah, the PS3 store is... I'm honestly surprised it lasted this long, too. They tried to shut it down a few years ago, and then they're like, no, actually, we'll keep this up here a bit longer. Like, I think that was, like, 5 years ago. I actually thought it might have been longer than that, but... Yeah, not honestly terrible for a system that's over 20 years old at this point, but... Yeah... Can I get some lives, please? So, I'm not sure if there's anything else I kind of want on the PS3. I mean, maybe there might be something I think about, like, I kind of want to get maybe some of the older Tekken games or something. I forget when the exact date that it's closing down is, but, is this... I was about to say, is this Needleman? No, I think this is Flashman, but he's weak to the needle weapon, I'm pretty sure. This I remember being actually kind of a difficult fight as well, but... I say that and he went down pretty easily. It's kind of the same pattern as like that one Proto Man fight though, so... Nerfed the Wii store a while ago. The Wii store was closed... Oh, sorry. The store was closed in like 20... God, when was that? 23, I think? 22, 23, something like that. I forget when exactly it was. By the way, remember how long and difficult this underwater section was before? It's piss easy by comparison now. I know they didn't shut the Wii servers off, Sorry. No, I'm thinking the Wii U. I'm thinking the Wii U and 3DS, actually. That was, like, last year. I forget, like, when the Wii was. It was in the last, like, couple of years. But, yeah, it was the Wii U and 3DS, like, the online servers were, like, last year, I'm pretty sure. And we only know one aquatic boss from Mega Man 2. This guy has a lot of weaknesses, actually. Let's zap him. It's Bubble Man. Turn and face the right way, dang it. Thank God. I was gonna say... PS3 store is closing July 27, and the Wii store was closed in 2020. Yeah, I could believe it. There was also a time when the Wii, like, they... How should I describe it? Like, you couldn't add points to it, but you could still buy stuff on it from, like, another, like, year after that, I think. Unless I'm mixing that up with, like, the way the 3DS worked. Because the 3DS and Wii U were like that, where... Maybe I'm thinking of that. The 3DS and the Wii U were like that, where... you couldn't, like, add points to them anymore, or currency, but you could add currency through the Nintendo Switch, or just, like, your Nintendo account in general, and it would carry the same money value over. It was a really weird way of setting that up, but that was a thing. Oh god, this section, no, I'm not. I'm using Rush Jet for this. Screw even the thought of doing this even half legit. The problem is that I need health for this boss, like, big time. You know what, screw it. I don't even care about using an energy tank at that point. I could drain all my energy tanks in this level and still be fine, honestly. Once I get past this, we're in easy territory, so... Okay, Woodman. This fight's awkward, too. Like, you do not have room to jump over his half his projectiles here, man. Like... I feel like you're born to take hits in that fight because of just how fast, like, how big his hitbox is. I think that's way harder than the regular Woodman fight, which, granted, is probably because half the weapons in Mega Man 2 are beyond broken, but... Okay, definitely using Rush Jet for this again here. I would have really liked that, but... Oh shoot, we have a... Oh shoot, this isn't good. This is not good. I don't like these guys on the ground here. Because they're basically impervious if they're on the ground, which is the stupidest mechanic ever, but... I don't think I should have been able to make it through that, honestly. I really don't. I need... Okay, it's just one of these guys here. Yeah, I'm gonna take the, just, life here. We have Heatman here. He's not too bad, but he's weak to the freaking topspin, and I hate using topspin against this guy. Let's try topspin again for this, but... I see I'm like half out of sync again here. I really am gonna have to just try and stream something a lot more modern and current, which... My other stream idea was definitely not that, but I don't feel like it's gonna lag half as much as this stupid setup is here. The PS3 is just a really weird system to record from in general. I think I have it going through like 3 different, or like a splitter and like, or 2 different splitters or something like that. Here's Breakman. Need to take a Breakman. This is almost dead-ass the same fight from the Hardman version of this, which already wasn't too bad, I felt. That's all that is there. And we can't read what Dr. Light's saying. He says something like, while you're fighting, Wily ran off with Gamma, or something. Oh god, this is gonna sound awful with... Trust me, you're not missing this. Oh god, yeah, flashing lights warning. I don't think this game's as bad with the flashing lights. I know Mega Man 4's kind of obnoxious for that, but... franchise's worst kept secret ever. I really do wonder for, Dual Override if they might, like, try and do something to spruce the formula up with that. I mean, probably not. That's like saying, you know, like, oh yeah, the screen panning's really weird in this room here. You know, some villains are just, not that Wily's, like, pure evil, I guess, but, like, some villains are just kind of meant to always be villains at that point, but it does make me wonder if Dual Override might do anything to, like, spruce that formula up a bit. I still want to see more on that. I'm surprised, like, I know it doesn't come out until next year, but I'm surprised we genuinely haven't seen much more on that game. I don't think I should have been hit there, game, but go on there. I love that you can just snipe that guy out like that. I have not played any of the South Park games since the Stick of Truth. I've never played, Fractured, and I've never played, Snow Day, I think, is the third game, even though I don't think there's any connection, and that's, like, a different thing altogether, I think. I just got that school rival, spurred lover energy to him, yeah, pretty much. Also, my brain totally read that as, like, oh, this is different! I think this room is genuinely different than how it is normally in the American version. This is like the first... Okay, very stupid to notice this change here, because, like, why would I notice this? But, like, normally this... There's, like, a floor that extends up to the upper wall there. And I thought one of these was behind, like, a box you had to break as well. Also, Ardo, when you said, like, he's got that school rival energy, like, my brain totally misread that and thought you said rival schools for a second, which is also just a completely different Capcom game. Top 2 favorite Let's Plays have to be Stick of Truth and SpongeBob. Considering there's also, like, 4 SpongeBob LPs I've done, like... The SpongeBob movie has to be up there, though, for me as well. Like, it has almost too much of a legacy with my channel, even though it's not, like, my favorite game in the world. I can understand why it's kind of the project that everyone associates with me for. I totally also just didn't say anything about the turtles there, but... Another Astolfo. God damn. Oh man, that's never gonna get let down there. You know totally when Ocarina of Time Switch 2 comes out, I'm totally gonna be making some sort of joke with that as well when it comes to that. Oh man. I definitely want to play that on my own, but, like, there's a part of me that really does kind of want to stream that as well. I don't know, we'll see. I definitely do really want to play that. I think I even mentioned this somewhere in the end of my Twilight Princess Let's Play, where, like, there was a part of me that honestly kind of wanted to go back and redo my... like, redo a Let's Play of Oops, because, you know, that Let's Play was from 2010, and by technicality, like, you could argue I didn't even really technically, like, fully complete it, because, I didn't get... Oh my god, why was I stuck in the floor there? Here we have another familiar face here. I'll read your comment in a second there, Monkey and Dragon, because this fight is... But yeah, I mentioned this in Twilight Princess that, like, there was a part of me that... Also, hi, Yellow Devil, I totally just didn't acknowledge you when I was going through this. Thankfully not as difficult as the Mega Man 1 version, and we get so many energy tanks in this level here that this is honestly a pretty piss-easy fight by comparison. Okay, I got 2 hits off there. I need a heal. One more face. The fact he can slide also helps as well. But, yeah, I wouldn't be against, like... I wanted to basically redo Ocarina of Time for a while. Yeah, I generally liked the Booster Course Pass. I don't want to get into this too much here. I'm gonna be the first to admit, I don't really like Mario Kart 8 that much. But it's not even that, like, anything about the game is bad or anything like that. I've just kind of got tired of playing Mario Kart 8 for the past 11 years or so. That game was, like, relevant for. So... Also, another one of my favorite songs in the game right here. One of my favorite Wily themes right here. But yeah, Mega Man... Mega Man. I'd say I generally like the Booster Course passes more than the base game ones, but it's also... Again, I was just wanting a breath of fresh air, which is what the Booster Course passes felt like. Yeah, that's very much fair there, Ardo. I know a lot of people who hate Mario Kart World, and I honestly quite like Mario Kart World, so I can't complain too much there. Like, look at how many freaking power-ups we're getting in this area, though. But yeah, a lot of my favorite stages in Mario Kart 8 are, basically the Booster Course Pass ones. This game isn't, but there is a... Well, technically no, technically yes. The Genesis version of this... There was a Sega Genesis, like, remake of this game called the Mega Man The Wily Wars that basically remade Mega Man 1, 2, and 3. That is on the Genesis app. But otherwise, the game itself's not on there, but there is a collection on the Switch and all the other systems as well. It's on Steam, it's on PS4 and Xbox One. There is a, Mega Man Legacy Collection 1 has all the NES Mega Man games. So, this game is very much playable on the Switch. I've played this a bunch of times. Shoot, I should have the snakes ready here. Nope. Got him. The guy always spawns on the top at first, so usually if you can get up there and just hit him with a bunch of snakes, he can usually die almost right away. But, yeah, no, this game is very much playable on the Switch through the first Mega Man Legacy Collection, which is really great. I would strongly recommend a lot of the Mega Man collections that are on the modern systems. And, like, those usually go on sale for very, very cheap. I've seen them as low as, like, probably $5 or less, so for that price, the fact that, especially like the NES one, you're getting 6 games out of that. They're hard games, don't get me wrong, but, this should be the last time I have to do this here. Also, we get what looks like a precursor of, Junkman. At least that's what I always thought anyway, because Mega Man games were kind of annual releases, and the next game has a boss called Junkman, and that's very similar to his attack there. Alright, time for the obligatory Capcom trope here of the boss rematches here. This is Needle. Should probably get Top Man out of the way here. I actually forget which one Top Man is off the top of my head. I didn't want to aim it that way, shoot. Thank God, okay. Shoot, for the amount of times I played this, you'd think I would remember, but no, off the top of my head, I don't. Oh, this is Magnet. This is gonna be a fight that's over in all of, like, a few seconds here. I say that, and he uses an attack that has a ridiculously long amount of iframes. He's easy, though. I think this is Hardman, I think. Or no, oh, Gemini, okay. Give me some snakes. Gemini's not too bad once you get his, like, pattern down. Like, you can easily kind of stun lock him pretty easily. I think this is Hardman. Yeah. It still does not sound great, but this is still a pretty easy boss, all things considered. Do you have that one Wario game on the Switch? Do you mean one of the WarioWare games? If I don't have any of those. Is it weird my first thought when you said that was, there's a game on the GameCube called, Wario World that is on the Switch 2, like, GameCube service, but I'm guessing you're probably talking about one of the WarioWare games, of which there's 2 of them on the Switch, and I don't have either of those. I've heard fun things about them, but no, I've never played. I shouldn't say I've never played a WarioWare game. I have, it's just been a really long time. I think this is Shadow Man, actually. Oh yeah, Shadow Man. This was actually who I was thinking of. I'm like, I might have said Top Man earlier, but no, it's... Okay, thank God that I only used a smidge of the ammo there and not the entire freaking meter there. Who's left? I think Needle and Snake, I think. Or no, I took Needle Man. Oh, Spark Man. Okay, it's Spark and Snake here. Both of which are honestly pretty easy here. And both are pretty easy. Can you please die? Yeah, we're definitely almost finished up here. Snake Man. Like I said, I find it really weird. This game just has, like, a weapon triangle that's, like, separate from, like, the regular boss order. I feel like Snake's the easiest to deal with between him, Needle, and Gemini, so that's who I usually go with there, but... Okay, what do I need for this boss? Refill this. Refill this a little bit, even though I don't need much of it. Rush Jet... And the Shadow Blades, and that should be all I need, I think. Alright, time for last boss stuff here. Oh, whoops. I don't think I really need the other weapons filled up there. I'll take the snakes, because that's like a backup for the final boss, but it's honestly not that necessary. I am glad I can do the strat that I like doing in this game here, compared to, like, in Wily Wars, this next strat just doesn't work at all. So there's this cannon here, it's weak to the spark shooter. Then we have another phase, a proper phase of Wily here, who's really, really, like, I honestly forget what his weakness is, but he has no iframe, so he just goes down to the freaking rush jet really easily. Oh no, he fell for a trap! Yeah, you may have noticed I was filling up other stuff there. Refill rush jet here. Actually, I'll use it to get the other items up here. I find it odd there's health in this room. I forget how exactly I came up with that. Honestly, my original screen name idea was, Masterman 2008. And then I definitely decided against that because that was a very... Or correction. Within, like... this is my recollection of it when it happened, but... From what I remember, that name went from being available to taken in, like, a 24-hour period. Here's the Gamma robot we were talking about earlier, and it's... another very easy boss. Please work. If I can jump and not slide, game. Got him. We beat Mega Man 3 on the PS1, guys. Yeah, so I basically, and we're saved by a mysterious figure. I forget what his dialogue exactly is. It's something like, fine, I guess I'll save you, I think that's what he says, and this is like an epilogue. I forget exactly what Light says here as well, something about, like, hearing this whistle. Yeah, really, I wonder how Wily would have survived this. Yeah, basically Masterman 2008 went from available to taken in the span of, like, 24 hours, sometime in January 2008. And history was made after that. And I remember there was someone on, like, some Apple blog that had Master Starman as, like, a screen name, but, like, the S was capitalized or something, and, like, I feel like I saw some posts from them, like, basically pissed at me for taking that name or something, but I didn't know. It wasn't on YouTube, it was on some, like, again, Apple blog site? I don't know. Proto Man! May you fight on and fight on. You don't need to know my opinion on this game. I love this game. Mega Man 3, or Rockman 3, as sometimes is called in Japan. Yeah, this is, like, one of my favorite platformers of the era. It's a contender for my favorite Mega Man game. It's really a toss-up between... classic series, I should say. It's really a toss-up between this or Mega Man 4 for me. I feel like I replay this one a lot more. Just because, like, again, I died a few times in this, but I still got through this quite breezy, and I feel like this is a game that's really fun to kind of, like, speedrun and go through. I always have a really good time playing this game. Inaf King. Yeah, I always just have a really good time with this one. It's a little on the easier side compared to other Mega Man games, but I think that's what helps it a lot, in some ways, just be more fun to go through. This is a large, not an XL. But yes. You know, I know Mega Man 2's, like, the really iconic game, but I feel like this was where the series, like... I don't want to say Mega Man 2's bad in any way, because it isn't, but I feel like it kind of has some rough spots around the edges that I feel only got worse with time. I saw someone once say that, it feels like 2 has better, like, really good core 8 Robot Master stages, and then once you get in the Wily stages, it gets a lot worse. This is new credits here. I've never seen this before. And this remix of Proto Man's theme is new as well. I don't know what was necessarily different about, like, the arranged mode in this version either, because, other than, like, beat showing up everywhere and whatnot, like, I don't know how that different it felt from the original. It had all the same glitches as the original, I can tell you that. It felt like there was almost nothing really changed about the game itself other than, like, a few graphical things, but... This was just Mega Man 3 on the PS1 here. Again, I really didn't know that these ports existed of, like, 2, 3, and 4. I want to go through Mega Man 4 at some point as well. I mean, even though I know it's just going to be a lot of the same game here, but... the fact this game also introduced the slide, I think the fact this game introduced the slide maneuver is another thing that makes me really like this game, because it's just fun just to zip through the levels. Even if the Gamma stages feel a bit long, like, the Doc Robot stages feel long. Yeah, exactly. 3 is 2, but more. I really like Rush, I really like the slide ability. Forward introduced the charge shot, which was great also, but... You know, once you get past the dock stages, like, this game becomes really, really cozy there. I feel like once you can get past that, like, it becomes, like, I'm gonna say, this is easily the easiest Wily stages of any game in the series. I don't think that's much of a contender there. The late game of this, I feel like it's probably a case of rush development, but... I don't know what this says here. I want to read this. And I didn't get a chance to do that. Thankfully that's what VODs are for here. So let me see what that actually said here, because I do have the stream still open here. This is probably horribly off sync here, but I want to see what this congratulations thing is here. Okay, wait, what? Hold on. This can't be is this clickbait? Or... Okay, never mind, this is... Yeah, no, that's definitely clickbait there. I looked on Google, and the first thing I see is, Square Enix surprise fans with, like, a re-release of Chrono Trigger, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, no, is that actually real? But no, as far as I can tell, that's not a thing, and it was something about merchandise and not the game itself. I feel like if that was the case, Ardo, you would have been the first person to hear about that and tell me, like, right away. But, yeah, no, that's definitely a clickbait headline when it's saying... I mean, it's from CBR, which is definitely a clickbait site, but... Yeah, it's just like... this article showing up on the front there, and yes, I am... like, looking at this here first before actually translating this here. Message, rough translation. Congratulations on clearing everything. You can now select boss attack from mode selection screen. Make sure to save in options. Oh yeah, this is... There was an extra thing added here, wasn't there? Yeah, this last option here is the boss attack here. Hold on, what's in here? This is apparently the save file option here. I'm just making sure. Yeah, okay, that's the... This is the button here for the save file. What is boss attack here? I'm curious what this is. Wait, what? Is that just like a life debugger there? Huh. Yeah, and you can start this with max lives there. This is a neat idea. I don't know if I want to go through with this or not, but... I mean, I gave myself the lives to spare. I mean, I don't see why not, but... Yeah, let's do this. I mean, the bosses shouldn't be that difficult, honestly. I feel like... Especially if I get my health between all of them, I don't see why not to do this here. I'm guessing I get my health back between all these phases here. God, I hope I don't have to fight the dock robots in this, though. I probably do, but... Oh, no, my health does not respawn in between these. Okay, so this is actually... Ooh, this could actually be challenging, then. And I don't get energy tanks. That's gonna make this a bit difficult there. Huh. Yeah, okay, I'm starting to think this might be a bit tougher than I gave it credit for there. Now I'm glad I gave myself a lot of lives to do this here. Yeah, I didn't know there was a boss rush mode in this. That's something. That's why I'm kind of curious now if you get anything for clearing this. Okay, Top Man's still as easy as always. I really don't want to do Shadow Man with as little lives that I have, so... I might try and divert and do Snake Man next, potentially. Because this is a much easier fight to do, like, Bustard here. If you have the Shadow Blade, it's not so bad, honestly. I forget who I was watching play this, like, a little bit ago. I feel like there was some streamer I was watching play this for the first time. like, and kind of struggling at it, but it is a difficult thing to kind of get a grasp on the first time you play it. Now I'll do Shadow, I think. Which, actually, speaking of Shadow, not really this at all, but, actually just, oh, my weapon ammo doesn't recharge between this either. Okay, that's something here. I actually just beat Shadow Generations for the first time there recently, and I know I'm really behind on playing that, because I got that when I got my Switch 2, the Switch 2 version of that, but that was a pretty good game. That was honestly a pretty great game. I wish I could, like... I was gonna say, I wish I could, like, switch my weapons between the loading screen there, but... yeah. Let's do Gemini Man next. I really hope this isn't also like the Dock Robots. I feel like that's asking a bit much. Even with all the lives you can set here. Those fights are not all that fun, honestly, especially if I don't get, like, any weapon ammo between them. I'd be fine for the Wily some of the Wily stages here, but... okay, Gemini's gone. Needle could either be really easy or really annoying, and not really much in between, but at least he kind of follows a bit of a set pattern there. Come on, oh shoot, that didn't want to aim that there. Come on, dude. Dang it. Well, I still have a lot of lasers left there, and I have lives to spare at least. Yeah, that's what I'm used to him doing, like, right off the beginning there. Could I have not had that last time? 2.5 minutes there. Is there more to this, or... nope. Nope, okay. What do we got for the translation here? Rockman, all clear. Clear time. 2 minutes, 27 seconds. Top time. Try again, or return to mode select. I'm gonna try and return to mode select here. I'm just gonna look at this again here and see kind of what it says. What does it say under Pocket Station? Download games for the Pocket Station. Pocket Station is required for down. I don't know much about the Pocket Station. Was this like a Japan-only, like, essentially like the equivalent of like a VMU type thing? Is this just gonna say it doesn't detect a Pocket Station connected here? Yeah. This is some deep stuff here. Like, what is this version of Mega Man 3? Like, what are these Pocket Station things? Like, you know, I feel like I've only heard of that from, like, the brief bits I've seen of, like, Astro's Playroom. Or Astrobot. I just want to check the original here just to see, like, you know, how different is... And just to get here Magnet Man one more time, I guess. This was a very funky, like, thing to check out on tonight's stream here. Is this the original UI, or... Yeah, so this is how the health bar and pause screen used to look. So, this is a really weird version of Mega Man 3. They included a mode that basically, you know, redrew the UI, but kept the gameplay dead-ass the same, including the stuff that probably should have been changed. Like the... I mean, there's some useful glitches in... There's both useful glitches and really, really awful glitches, and, like, not really a good in-between on that, but... Yeah, it's definitely a interesting little find here. Before today, I was literally just browsing the PlayStation Store because I was trying to get the Mega Man Legends games before they're unavailable. And then here I come across this really weird version of one of my favorite games that... Again, I did not know that Mega Man 3 was actually released in... I did not think Mega Man 3 was released on the PS1 and, like, I know it's Japan only, but still. I don't know why I'm going through Magnet Man's stage again. I just like Magnet Man's stage, I guess. I love the music here anyway. It's very... But, yeah. Alright, I mean, I'll beat Magnet Man yet again here, and then probably gonna call that a stream here shortly anyway. Not really much else I kind of had planned, admittedly. There's a game I am kind of considering streaming sometime in the near future, but, like... that should be Mario Mon, but I'm half considering something else here. You know, I did, I was gonna say something... I will say this, I did record some more New Super Mario Bros. Today. This is very seldom that this has ever happened to me, but, like, I actually had to stop a recording session today because I was legit feeling kind of sick in the middle of things. Not, like... sick, but, like, just unwell, and I kind of just think it was a case of just eating too much, admittedly. That was kind of my, I had a really, really big breakfast, and I just physically was still kind of reeling from that, so I had to kind of end the session earlier than I wanted to, but... is there any way to, like, reset this, I wonder? I am feeling a lot better now, though, before people ask their... Okay, yeah. Yeah, this doesn't have the Proto Man stuff here, so... I'm guessing this just takes you back? Yeah. Excuse me. This was a neat little find, though. This was definitely a very neat little find here. And I might play the uh, PS1 version of Mega Man 4 sometime as well. It's gonna be basically the same as this in a way. I like Mega Man 4 also, so while we look at Akechi's sexy mug here, we're probably gonna like wrap things up here. This was a fun stream though. I really did, I love Mega Man 3, so I was definitely down to play this. I figured this was gonna be a more chill thing than what we usually play here. So, yeah. I like I said, there is something I am kind of wanting to stream. I just don't know if or when that'll go through or not, but you'll definitely know if and whenever I decide to go with that. And if I do decide to stream more Mario Mon in the near future as well, which I would like to get back to that, but yeah. I feel like I'm going to try and push the streams a bit more once I finish recording New Super Mario Bros, which I shouldn't have much more left. I feel like I have like less than half of World 7 to go and then just World 8, so I'm probably going to try and push to do that tomorrow there, but we'll see. And then of course bonus videos on that, but I'll worry about that when I worry about that. I still have genuinely not decided what I want my next Let's Play to be, so I may try and focus on streaming in the meantime to kind of finish that up there. And yeah, I think we're probably gonna call it a stream for tonight, though. I'll show you what other random games I bought, I guess. On the PS1, I have Legends 1, 2, and Tron Bonne, which again, once the PS3 store shuts down, these games are gone, so if you have the PS3 and you don't have these, like, probably consider these if you can. I have Spyro 2 and Tekken 2. Both these I bought like a long time ago, admittedly. Vib Ribbon, which is a really weird game. I'm terrible at it, but there's also like the Rockman 3 and 4 games here. CVS 2, which I would probably not play this version over the fact that that got a re-release in the Capcom Fighting Collection 2, which you all know how much I love that collection now. And I picked up Street Fighter 3 Online Edition because I know that that's usually seen as like a really good version of SF3, and like this is not on any other consoles either right now, by the way, so also these are just demos here, I believe. I have both these on my Steam, and like, you know what, I'll flex something I know I've flexed plenty of times before, but talking about Sonic Adventure 2, not only do I have my GameCube copy of that, but that signature there is actually Jun Oh from Crush 40, which is really cool. That was probably one of the coolest. I know I'm not speaking anywhere near the microphone there, but that was honestly probably one of the coolest, like, I don't want to say celebrities, but just like convention guests, I guess. Like one of the coolest guests I've ever met. You probably will, Monkey and Dragon, you probably will. With all that being said, thanks everyone for tuning in tonight. I don't know if we have anyone to raid tonight. I guess that no one's really on Twitch at the moment either, and I don't think YouTube has any sort of thing like that, but yeah, there's no one really watching on the Twitch side, so I think we're just gonna probably call that there. Again, Mega Man 3 is an awesome game, so yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. I've been Master Serman, and next time we may play something you've never heard of, but we'll see. It's not going to be Sonic Adventure 2. If I'm talking about, like, other games that are, like, signature Let's Plays for me on the channel, Sonic Adventure 2 is definitely up there for me. Just because, again, it's not often you find anyone who plays that 100%, and that was such an undertaking for me that it was one of the fan favorites for me. Fan favorite for me, that's not a term, but... Anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Have yourselves a great rest of your Saturday, and I will see you guys later. Peace out.